Have you ever watched 90 Day Fiancé? I know, just stick with me here for a second. So it's basically a reality TV show on TLC where it takes two people that live in different countries, and it's an American who falls in love with somebody who lives in a different country. And in order for them to live in the United States, they need to get married in 90 days in order for that person from a different country to get a K-1 visa. Welcome to the Jasmine Star Show, where today we're having a business version of 90 Day Fiancé. Okay, just stick with me. Just stick with me here for a second. This is the Jasmine Star Show, where I empower 7-figure entrepreneurs to scale to 8 figures. And today we're going to be talking about a business love story. Will the two star-crossed business partners ever come in? Will they find each other? This is what this episode is going to document. Okay, I am making this show to give you an inside look on how I am going to hire a new executive on the inside of one of my companies. Welcome to the ride. Okay, so in the past, I have spoken about job descriptions, KPIs, SOPs, and onboarding team members, but I have never showed a behind the scenes of what it actually looks like to court, to hire, to basically sell and woo somebody to come on. And this is a personal look at how I recruit talent. So I've worked with recruiters in the past. I've had good experiences. I've had not so good experiences. But what I wanted to do now was to create a piece of content that actually showed an inside look of us starting from the ground up, building this job description out, and then putting it out and seeing if this will in fact work and be the case. So I debated sharing this episode for two main reasons. Number one, I'm a very private person. I don't like my stuff out in a very personal capacity and showing the behind the scenes, nitty gritty, not so good stuff. Number two, I am creating this podcast knowing that I'm running the risk of getting rejected. Like, y'all are going to see whether or not I am able to woo somebody, to get somebody to come in and partner on the inside of the company as an executive. Now, I am not new to rejection. I have been told no more than I've been told yes in my life, but I am unafraid to ask and hear a no. Here's why. I don't actually ever hear when somebody says no. I only ever hear it's just not right now. I hear it when it comes to sales. I hear it when it comes to recruiting talent for the team. I hear it when my husband says, no, we can't take a 4-month vacation in the south of France. Did you say no, or did you just say not right now? Exactly. Okay, so we were coming up with a job description for somebody who wanted to be a key player in a program called the Consistent 10K. We were looking specifically for a manager, and a manager who had the makings to become a director. So I hired a team, an agency okay, let me back up a second. We're looking for a manager who has the makings to become a director. And we need somebody who has experience on the sales side and on customer success side. Okay, so what has my sales experience been up until this point? Well, in the past, I have worked with a sales team, but they're alumni sales team. So people who've gone through my program, we paid for an agency to come in and train them on how to better sales so that the alumni team can sell to other future students. Now, what happened during this time was I thought this agency was so good at training people who are not a sales team to come in and sell hundreds of thousands of dollars of this course. So I've always had my eye on her. So she was an agency that we had hired. She had a business partner. The business partner and her came in as their agency to train our teams. Well, a few months ago, we got word that their agency, it's amazing. They ended up on great terms, but there was a really big opportunity for one of the partners to step into a Fortune 50 company. And so they decided that they were going to close the doors for now to that agency style business. I noticed the business partner on social media was still navigating and figuring out what she was going to do next. And I clocked her and I said, okay, this is the person. This is the person who is going to lead our sales team. I clocked her, I watched her, and I just started engaging with her, and I wanted to court her. So I sent a DM and I said, hey, I know things have been going great for you. Do you have time to have a conversation? Okay. I knew what I wanted her to do. I wanted her to become our head of sales. I knew it. I felt it. I was oozing it. I believed in it. We had a conversation. And guess what? The week before, she took a director of sales position in somebody else's company. Now, here's the best part. I know the person whose business she's working for, and I love him. I love him. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for him. Of course, was I bummed for me? Absolutely. because she's a rock star. Okay. And so I was like, you know what? I said, I am so happy for him and I am so happy for you. And I have a mentor. His name is James Wedmore. One of my first mentors in the business world. And he had always said, when you see something you want in the world, celebrate it. Celebrate it. So I sent her a voice memo on Instagram and I said, I am celebrating you. I am celebrating this other person's business. He is so fortunate to have you. You guys are going to create magic together. And what was I doing? I was creating space and I was reminding myself that everything is happening for me. That if it wasn't this person who I desperately wanted to be like our head of sales, that somebody else was coming to us and that person was going to be crystal clear, perfect for us. So all that to say, I am unafraid of getting no's because I only hear not right now. So I make a habit of following really smart people. It's very common for me to go to a conference, to go to an event, to even be out and about. In fact, just last Sunday at church, there was a woman who sat. So I always sit in the same chair at church. Okay. Like whatever, call me territorial. I'm territorial for God. Leave me alone. So I always sit in the same chair. And there is a woman who I've seen again and again and again, always sit in the same chair. Similar vibes. Well, there was one week that I didn't go and her and JD struck a conversation. So I don't know if you guys are church going folk, but anyway, at church, they say hi to somebody. So JD said hi to somebody and it was this woman. And then the following week when I was back at church with him, he said, hey, let me introduce you to Anne. I met her last week. I met her and I walked away thinking, okay, this woman is a whole vibe. Her energy, she just held herself well. I was like, she's a boss. I don't know what she does or who she is, but she's a boss. Literally, I know nothing about her except her name. Well, last Sunday, she came in a little bit late and I saw her come in. I saw her purse. I saw her shoes. I saw her posture. She came ready and she wasn't there to play. And I was like, I turned to JD and I was like, she's a good one. I was like, I'm going to keep my eye on her. I was like, I don't know what she does. I want her working for me. Crazy. I don't know anything about her. Guess what? Well, the minute I get something in my mind, we're walking out of church. JD goes to Sunday school to pick up Luna. And I'm like, I'm going to talk to her. I was like, Anne, how's it going? We talked for like 5 minutes straight out. I was like, so Anne, tell me, what do you do? Y'all. She's in medical sales. She's going to work for us. I just called it. Like I can look and spot people and be like, I have a nose for talent. Anyway, I started looking for her and following her on social media. Am I a creep? Maybe. Or am I just a long-term recruiter? It's the long game, y'all. So anyway, it is a habit of mine. I collect smart people. I like being around people who are responsible, hard work, and show up because I believe how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so I follow people. And 2 years ago, I was working with an agency and I'm just going to call it like a creative agency. I was working with a creative agency on a project and they assigned us a point of contact. And I have to say that this person, our point of contact at this agency, she was brilliant. She was professional and she took ownership of the total project. Was it her business? No. Did she act and behave and treat us like it was her business? Yes. And did I love it? Absolutely. I was like, you are magical and you have it going on. Well, I followed her on social media because it was a long-term project. We worked for a long time on this project. I got to know her very well. I followed her on social media. Well, 2 years later, she moved to a new company. I continued to follow her journey. And so what is she posting on social media? She is not an influencer. She's not even an entrepreneur, but she's what we would call an intrapreneur, somebody who has entrepreneurial qualities on the inside of an organization. So she's entrepreneurial. But what am I following on her Instagram? Meal prep, family vacations. She was renovating her home. And so this is all beginning at the start of 2026, when we know we are looking for a key operator on the inside of Consistent 10K. So this is where our career dating story begins. And here is an iPhone clip of how I started this journey. So I'm looking at this kind of like it's a dating diary. And yes, I can fully be denied. Okay, let's back up a little bit. I am deciding to take a little bit of a risk and bring you in on the journey of me trying to court, trying to woo, and trying to hire an operator for one of the businesses in our holding company. Now, this is the first time that I am bringing somebody in such like a personal capacity. And so a little bit of a backstory is I'm outgoing. And oftentimes people look at me and think that I am an extrovert when I couldn't be farther from that. I'm a level 12 introvert. And I'm also very, very, very leery with who I let into my personal life and very leery of who I let into my business. I'm a very private person. And so normally the way that things work is I work closely with a person for a long time and then they rise within the organization. And one big shift for me as I am building in 2026 is understanding that I have to do things differently. If I am truly focused on scale in the capacity that I am focused on, I'm going to need to cultivate, recruit, bring in leadership in a totally new way. And so what I am doing for this particular arm of the business, we have an offer called the Consistent 10K. And we're so excited with how things have transpired. And we're so excited about those early promises of growth and the really early results that we've been getting from our students. And so it's all been very exciting. And our team has put a lot of time, attention, and focus. Now, one of our team members, specifically, her name is Katie. It's hard to give Katie a title. She sits as president of social curator, but she and I have always been co-creators in so much of what I'm doing. She is like the yin to my yang. She's an anchor to my kite. And so we've created and built so many things on so many levels together. When I say she's like my right hand in creation, I mean all of that. And we've always known that it is our job, her job, my job, to work ourselves out of things that we're doing in the business and cultivate leadership and build out systems and processes to bring in somebody to take over what it is we're doing. Now, we've always said that, we've always maintained, and that's how we've built. However, recently got news that Katie is pregnant. And this has been a long time coming. We are so excited for her. And one of the things that she had said is, I am so excited for this baby. I'm still so excited to build. But we also got very pragmatic about it. What does this look like for us in terms of how soon we bring in a director, how soon we're really leveraging operations for that arm of the business? And she's been so integral right alongside me as we built it. And so there has been this temptation for us to say that it's too early or we haven't done enough cultivation. And I think that that could be true. But I'm starting a new process and doing things in a new way. I'm actually going to be going after people who I want to be part of a dream team and sitting on the executive side of building out this arm of the business. So I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm going to be creating small videos of the process of me doing things different and me courting, wooing, recruiting, and hopefully hiring somebody that we have our eye on. So let's back up a little bit. The team refers to Katie as our gold standard. Now, I probably would never mention this in any other way, shape, or form, except for the fact that she's so level-headed, she's so humble, and she just takes everything in stride. And so in the past, we've always said, yes, but are they as good as Katie? That literally became our standard when it comes to hiring people, is if these people cannot hang with Katie, if they cannot run at Katie's pace, then probably they're not going to last on this team. And so we said it jokingly, but as we understood that Katie is going to be replacing herself inside of the arm that is Consistent 10K, we actually said, we're not actually looking for a person who can keep up with Katie. We're looking for a mini Katie. We're looking for somebody who can act like Katie, swing like Katie, jump like Katie, build like Katie, and scale like Katie. So we in the past have tried bringing in other operators, and I had a lot to learn. I learned a lot of lessons. So this time around, we wanted to do it differently. And so I talked with our COO and I said, hey, what if we were to create a little bit of a cloud bubble? Let's describe qualities that Katie possesses. Qualities of a person that if we want to replace Katie, if we want this person to go on side and take over control and be the operator of Consistent 10K, what is that going to look like? Now, I should probably pause here. I am still integral. I am still involved in Consistent 10K. I am not going anywhere, but I actually do not want to operate the day-to-day. I don't want to be in the funnels. I don't want to be in the marketing. I don't want to be in the strategic content creation. What I want to do is I want to be the visionary and I want to stay in my place of power. So what we're going to need a specific operator who is going to be doing the very high level all the way down to granular. Who are they hiring? How are they building up? What is the structures? Things of that nature. So that's who we're looking to hire. And one of the things that we had decided was once we kind of crafted out an archetype that is Katie, what are the things that we're looking for? What were the things that she might have in common? So let's do a couple things. Now, I know it's probably, now that I'm recording this, I'm not even sure if this is something that I should actually be saying. But oh well, this is what we're going to keep on doing. Okay, so one of the things is on a list of things that Katie is an Enneagram 1, which means like she's a perfectionist. On the print assessment, she is also a number 1, which means that things need to be clear, perfect, and totally planned. For Myers-Briggs, she is an INTJ. So she's very logical. She is an introvert, and that was very high value. She is very communicative. She can speak and she could write clearly. And she's also very good at forecasting and planning 3 steps in advance. So we're looking at somebody who's proactive, somebody with strong foresight. Katie went to an Ivy League school, so I put that down. Katie got phenomenal grades. I put that down. No, is that a pre-qualifier? No, absolutely not. But I'm looking for, what is this archetype? What are these qualities that she possesses? Because then I think to myself, hey, can I look for that in other people? So after we've created this archetype, I then went through and I asked Katie to create a job description. And I am asking Katie for specific to this division of the business. What does this operator need to do? What are the qualities? What are the responsibilities? What are their KPIs? What are the systems? Like, how are they going to come in and take this from you? So in a perfect world, this is like the perfect world. This is where we're dreaming. We're dreaming that we could bring on this person and this person will work side by side with Katie in a dream world. In a dream world, October, November, December, and a bit of January. So we would have like a 4-month runway for this person to osmotically, like literally by osmosis, be completely amoeba-like, be overtaken and overcome and completely indoctrinated and inculcated with Katie. This person is going to become a mini Katie in the organization so that when Katie gears up for maternity leave, this person can not just take it over during maternity leave, this person takes it over. And then Katie will be sitting above with purview of what is going on as president of Consistent 10K, where she can also sit as president of Social Curator. That would be fantastic. That would be the dream. Now, in order for us to actually make this happen, we're going to have to start the hiring process like today. So at the time of this recording, it is September 3rd. We just finished the job description and we just put out the job listing. Now, it is not public. I mean, yes, we have it public facing, but nobody knows that this page exists quite yet. Because one of the things that I also had Katie add is I said, Katie, can you go through, in addition to the job description and the things that we're looking for and what their expectations would be, can you also include what an average week might look like? I want this person to understand that while they're going to be stepping into an established role, we are expecting this person to be a builder. By the time they come into this offer, it will have only been live publicly for a couple months. So we're going to need somebody who has the heart of a builder, but a brain of a strategist. That is a very specific kind of person. And then on top of that, we're going to need somebody who is so truly people focused. That is another quality about Katie, is that Katie is so attuned energetically, intellectually, heart-centered to who we're serving and how we're empowering entrepreneurs, that this person needs to have, the heart of a builder, the brain of a strategist, and like the center of somebody who just cares about humans and wants them getting great results. So I said, in order to attract this kind of person, like, can you describe what they might be doing on an average week, Monday through Friday? So she went through, she updated that job description. She sent it to our COO. COO has approved it. Our HR has put it out publicly. Now we have it out publicly because now this is where things get a little bit tricky and sticky, because I could totally get shut down. I could totally get denied. So a couple weeks ago, I took a solo trip to Lanai, Hawaii. I spent about a week on my own dreaming, thinking, and ideating about this new venture. Who am I going to be as I build it out? What is the team that we need? How do I want it to run? What are our goals, like personal, financial, result driven? Who are the people that I want to attract? Who are the people that I want to get these results? Who do I think is going to be doing the work? So spent a lot of time on my own. But as I went to Jade, our COO, and I was explaining to her, hey, we really need to find who this director is going to be. She's like, Jasmine, I think we just need a lot of time. It's going to take us a lot of time to recruit this person, to find this person. And I agreed. And she said, I just really wish somebody like X would want to join us. And she went on. And I thought to myself, oh, X would be perfect for this operator role. X would be a mini Katie. And that is a tall order and a big thing to say. So I didn't say anything to our COO, but on the flight to Hawaii, I sent X a direct message on Instagram. I know. Every recruiter who's watching this video is being like, what in the world are you doing? That's so unprofessional. I know. I probably should have sent this person a LinkedIn message or an email. I probably should have sent them like a pigeon with a note. I know I should have, but I just did what I had to get somewhere. So from my seat in the airplane, I shoot X a message and I'm like, hey, I've been watching what you're doing. I've been watching this person's career. Okay. Because when I see a good, smart person, I follow them. I just want to track what they're doing. I want to see who they're moving with and what experiences they're getting. And I noticed this person, since I've known them, has moved 2 organizations over about 4 years, which seems pretty on par. And I loved what this person has been doing. And so I reached out and I said, hey, I know this is coming from left field. I love what it is you're doing. I would love, if at all possible, if we can have like maybe 30 minutes to chat. I would appreciate to know like what it is you're doing, how I could support you. And I'd also want to be sharing some innovations and some things that we're doing on our business and just take some time to catch up. There at 50,000 feet in the air, or like airplanes are at 30,000 feet, somewhere over the Pacific Ocean, I get an Instagram direct message and X says they would love to chat. I connected X with my executive assistant and we have a conversation coming up in 10 days. So I'm not going to be putting out this job listing quite yet. Like I'm not going to be looking for a recruiter. I'm not going to be talking about it on social. I want to see if I can have a conversation with X. So I am right now planning the best way for me to articulate how I'm going to be connecting with X. So I'm going to have the job listing. It's going to be linked out so I could send this person a link before the meeting. I'm also going to be creating a personal video. I'll be creating on Loom or Vidyard, and I'm going to talk to them about the vision of what we're doing with Consistent 10K. I will talk about our current deal flow, close rates, on-track earnings for our sales team, our development of the coaching side. I'll talk about what I think growth potential is. I will talk about what I need this person to be, right? Like heart of a builder, mind of a strategist, center core on serving people really well. And I'm going to be very forthcoming. I think I decided I'm making this video because I thought to myself, should I be going into this call and pitching this person on the call? And I thought, no, I want this person coming in eyes wide open to the conversation that I want to have to see if it's in alignment with what they want. So yeah, I'm going to be making a video for X this week, and I'm going to be sending it to them in preparation of our call in 10 days. I will keep you posted. So now let's fast forward to September 11th, one day before our scheduled call. I was feeling excited. I was feeling a little bit nervous. I was like, this is it. I'm about to ask this person to go on a business date with me. Okay. So we have the job listing. It's already ready. It's on my website under the career section. And then we have a paid test already. So let me just pause here. Anytime we do a hire, we actually require a test to be done as part of the interview process. We will pay for this test because their time is being rendered. We do not use the test. This is just for us to get a better understanding of how this person works and how this person thinks. Okay, so what we want to do is we give specific details about this test because we're there trying to measure a few key things. How well do they follow directions? How thorough are they? Are they going above and beyond? Did they lay out chronically how they are thinking and how they ended up at those assumptions, conclusions, ideations, next steps? Okay, so I was supposed to send a video to her on September 10th. I was supposed to send a video to her 2 days before our interview. What did I want to do in this video? Well, I wanted to cast a vision for what Consistent 10K was, because at this time, it was not even public. We had not even made Consistent 10K public at the beginning of September. So I needed to explain what the program was, what the role was, growth opportunities. It was a 6-figure opportunity for her, but there was opportunity also for bonuses. I was really trying to lay out what this was going to be. So September 10th comes and it goes, and I was completely trapped in meetings. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get this woman her video? So I decided to give myself grace. And so the next day, I'm driving to a speaking event. So we're meeting on the 12th. I am in the back of an Uber on September 11th on my way to Malibu. And I recorded a quick video in the car. And then during the event, I recorded and I sent. So on the car ride over, I record the video. And then I arrive at the event and I don't have time to send the email. So I go to the event, I'm speaking at the event. During the lunch break, I quickly go and type out an email, I populate the video, and I send it to her. So what you're gonna see is behind the scenes of that. I wanted to make a video for you. I'm very excited to meet with you tomorrow and talk to you more about. Today is September 11th. I am on my way to speak at a mastermind around AI and efficiency, specifically building a brand and marketing it. However, on the way here, I sent a video in preparation to the call I'm going to have tomorrow. Tomorrow, I have an interview at 8 a.m. my time, and I'm going to be chatting with a person who I think is perfect for the director role. However, I needed to put together a presentation of what she might expect so that when we have the conversation tomorrow, she can come prepared with any questions she might have, and what I'm going to be presenting her won't come like out of left field. So this is me doing my best job to prepare, to incentivize, and cast a vision for how this person might grow potentially within the organization. So I'm on a lunch break. I'm gonna keep most things private, but this is an email that I am sending to the candidate. I recorded in the car. I'm recording it now in preparation of our call tomorrow. On the morning of September 12th, this is it. This is the day that I'm going to invite this person to go on a deep dive business date. I hopped on a Zoom call and I had every hope in the world. I was like, oh yes, this is going to happen. I believed it. I was like, it's only going to happen. I kept on saying to myself, it's only going to happen. But I said, regardless of what happens, everything is happening for me. You've heard, if you've been watching this show for a while, you've heard that is my mantra. Everything is happening for me. Even when things suck, everything is happening for me. So I told myself, it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen for you. But even if it doesn't, everything's happening for you. So what happens? Everything's happening for me. Let's dive in. Today is a content day, and it's also September 12th. I had a meeting at 8 a.m. this morning to interview for a potential director of Consistent 10K. I have to say, it was not in the cards for me today. I'm so bummed, but it's with all good reason. So the person I had a conversation with was hired as ops, and the CEO of the business that she's currently in is on maternity leave. And this person didn't feel like it was in alignment to take on a new position given the structure of that current business, which I deeply respect. It wasn't easy to hear, but I deeply respect it. And I think it says a lot about this person. But I did say to please, if this person ever has the desire to try something new or look at different horizons, I would love the first right of refusal to work with this person. And there's a good chance that we are going to hire a director, and it's not going to be the person that I had envisioned. And that's fine, because I keep on repeating to myself, everything is happening for me. Everything is happening for me. And I told this person, I was like, hey, if ever you get like a hankering or an inkling to try something new, please let me know. Like, when you find a really good person, just hire them. Like I would extend an offer to this person and then find a role for them. Like they're one of those like highly capable, take charge, do it, get results kind of people. And I thought this person was gonna be perfect for the role. I still think this person's perfect for the role. However, this person would not be able to depart from their current station for 6 months. So today we listed it on LinkedIn. Womp, womp, womp. Okay, so I'm going to be very serious. I totally thought I was going to end this episode and I was going to say, oh, it ends like a rom-com. We're holding hands and we're walking off into the sunset as this new person is being courted and onboarded into the business. And that didn't quite happen. At the time of this recording, we have this listing out on LinkedIn and on Indeed. And over the weekend, I shared it to my social media. I went on Instagram and I said, hey, we're looking to hire this role. And if you're interested, comment back. Now, here's the thing. I will have automations in in direct message. So sometimes if I'm like, hey, if you want this free guide, comment guide. And if you comment guide, you will be sent an automated link to get to it. I normally do that in all of my, what we call trigger words. Anytime I get an activation on DM, I'll use this trigger word. So I said, use this trigger word. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to personally reach out to everybody who was interested. So I did not automate it. Anybody who's expressed interest that they wanted to be like interested in this role, I sent them a personal DM and I'm like, thank you so much. And then I linked to the job description. I wanted to know what kind of people are interested in this. Who actually sits in this capacity in my audience? Who knows me well enough that they would want to go deeper in the business? I am not just looking to hire somebody who can get the job done. I am truly looking for somebody who can embody the brand values, have their personal values align with my personal values. Sit there and say, I'm not in a place of balance. I want to build, and I want to build something big, and I want to build something scalable, and I want to build something that serves a lot of people extraordinarily well. So at the time of this recording, we are in the process of interviewing. I have 2 one-on-one interviews set up next week, but just because we have one-on-one interviews, it doesn't mean that they're going to execute on their test well. It doesn't mean that after we go through multiple interviews, and I will make sure and go through references. As I'm looking through your resume, I am not just looking at the references you list. I'm also finding other ways to connect with people who you might have worked with in the past. Why? This is a highly specific role. Trust is a big thing for me. I am a wildly private person. And so if we are bringing somebody into the business and I'm going to be working closely with them, I need to know that I can trust them implicitly. So if you are an experienced operator, bonus points if you have experience with digital products and high-touch service, high-ticket service experience, and you believe that you are a unicorn hire, you can go to jasminestar.com/careers and you will be able to see what roles we have open at the time. And perhaps this role will still be open. You want to know why? I'm not going to rush a dang thing. I'm going to wait for the perfect person. I want to say thank you for watching and listening to this journey. The reason why I created this was because I know that if not now, then very soon, you are going to be in a place where you need to hire somebody. So I am sharing with you how I collect really talented people in my orbit and I just watch them. And if and when they say no, all I hear is, it's not right now. Do I still think that we have the opportunity to get ahead of sales to come back if the time is right? Absolutely. For this other person who I met with, I just know it's a matter of time. I just know. Y'all, I know it's a matter of time before they come back. And for all the other future Anns out there who work in medical device sales, I got my eye on you. I collect good people. If you've made it to this point in the episode, you, my friend, are a good person. And I am happy you're here. Thank you for watching and listening to The Jasmine Star Show.